Let me ask you this question. What do you think you need to do to get the girl that 99% of guys cannot get? So if you want to get that girl that 99% of guys cannot get, you need to be doing what 99% of guys will not do. And this is what we're going to be discussing in this video. I'm going to be giving you 6 points that will take you from chode to master dating man. Number 1, you have to do the approaches that the 99% of guys will not do. And that means approaching in high social pressure situations, like on the train, like in the coffee shop, like in the bar, if you're not used to doing it in the bar, right? On the street, if you don't like approaching girls that are walking, right? Because I can tell you, women love when you approach them and you give them a great compliment, right? Whether it's on the street or anywhere. So it's all in your head. Like when you look at a situation, you're like, oh, you know, I don't want to do it in that situation because there's other people watching, or because she's walking, you know, I don't want to interrupt her. It's actually not true, because when you approach a girl in a beautiful way, right, it's a win-win. You give her a great time and you improve as a person, you improve and you get to the level where you can get that dream girl. Number 2, you're going to have to approach people that you don't want to approach. That means approaching a guy and giving him a compliment because he's got beautiful shoes. That means approaching a girl that's maybe not totally your type, right? Because what I see is a lot of guys making excuses when they see a girl and they say, oh, she's not totally my type, I don't want to go approach her. Well, it's just going to take you 2 seconds to just give her a compliment and leave, right? You're making her day, and now you've got some momentum, you're more warmed up. Now you're going to be more in a social state. And that's what's going to make you get that girl, the dream girl, you know, that other guys can't get. Number 3, you're going to have to do approaches, again, in times when you don't feel like you want to approach, right? Like an example is when it's raining. A lot of guys make excuses not to go out when it's raining, but I can tell you, in the past 7 years of me doing this, there hasn't been one time when I said, oh, it's raining, I'm not going to go out, right? There's a lot of malls. You can go to malls when it's not raining, right? So it's just an excuse. Even in the rain, you could hold an umbrella and do an approach. And then the next one is when you don't feel like doing it because you don't have the energy, maybe you didn't have enough sleep, maybe you just had a bad day, right? I remember back in the day, I had one of the worst days of my life. And I thought, let me go out and I'll do some approaches. They're not going to go anywhere, but, you know, let me just go out there and practice. And what happened is, after doing about, 10 approaches, I got into a really good state, because believe it or not, when you talk to people, your state improves. So if you're not feeling the best, as you keep socializing and talking to people, now you're going to be feeling better and better, right? So that day, actually, I went from feeling the worst to feeling incredible. And it was funny, because I would have never thought that would have happened. Number 4, this one is actually one of the easiest ones to do, but yet guys neglect it because they're lazy, and that's why they won't get the results. This is analyzing your interactions. Sitting down after you've done a session of approaching, if you follow the top 3 key points, you're going to be doing a lot of approaching. So now you need to sit down and actually think about what you did right, what you did wrong, and what you need to do next time to not to make that mistake, right? And this is how we learn from our mistakes. When we think about business, let's say if you got 3 products and one of the products is not performing well, what are you going to do, right? You're going to sit down and think, okay, well, this product is not doing well, let's change it. But when it comes to our dating life, we don't do that, right? We just go out there, approach, and we just keep making the same mistake over and over again. All right, and that brings us to the next point, asking for help. And that means having a mentor, having a coach. Because what it is, us guys, we have this ego and we don't want to ask for help. But what I can tell you, the most successful people in this world, when you look at the top athletes, when you look at the top businessmen, the people that have made crazy money, they're famous, or they're doing really well in their dating life, they've had a great support system, right? They have a lot of top people around them, and that means, someone that's coaching them. When you look at the top athlete in the world, they've got 10 coaches getting them to that level, right? When you look at the top businessmen, they've got that support system of connections making them the best, right? And that's what you need. And in order to do that, you have to reach out for the help. Because you've been watching to this point, that tells me you're serious about improving your dating life. So I want to offer you a free 1-hour coaching session, either on Zoom or in person. To book that, go to the description now and send me an email with your name, your location, and your top sticking point. And finally, number 6, you need to be reading books that you don't want to read, right? I'm going to give you, yes, my friend, I'm going to be giving you some books that are really good, in my opinion. They're not really to do with dating, but they develop you as a person. And when you develop as a person, you can attract more high-value women into your life, right? The first book I would recommend is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is a really good book. The second one is The Charisma Myth, right? This is charisma just in general. It's not really to do with dating, but you can use a lot of stuff that's written in that book to improve your dating life. And then the other one I would recommend is Think and Grow Rich. This is actually my favorite book of all time. So this is one of the top self-development books, and there's a lot of things there that you can use for your career, for business, and in your dating life. So if you want to get the girl that other guys can't get, do these 6 things, my friend.